Hello, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to a new episode of Spontaneous Stories. Riccardo here, your host for today. Today we are going to talk about data storytelling, stories around data storytelling, and it's a huge topic. And I will pick up and touch today three topics, three elements of this data storytelling. The very first topic is related on the difference between data storytelling and storytelling with data. They are different. I would like to say there are big differences between the two. So it's very important that we know what we talk about when we talk about and we focus on data storytelling and when we focus on storytelling with data. The second point that I will touch today is how to craft graph that works for everyone. How to make sure that you bring to life information, visual part, information that resonate with the audience. And the last point, I will dig a little bit on the word of numbers and how to treat the numbers in presentations, how to make sure that the numbers are absorbed by your audience. But okay, let's go by step. Let's start today Spontaneous Stories live episode. If you have any question, please drop into the chat. I have the chat open on my actually is my right. If there is any, from time to time I will check it. I will ask questions if anyone popping into the live version. And I would like always to remember this live is going to be streamed right now in LinkedIn, but is also going to be streamed in YouTube, and you will be able to access to the recording both in LinkedIn and in YouTube. And I guess that in YouTube it's much more easier, and then you can dig in and land exactly into the part that you like, you prefer, you want to rewatch without listening me waffling around. I mean, if you want, eventually. Okay, so let's start with the first topic: data storytelling and storytelling with data. So actually, the big difference between data storytelling and storytelling with data is the following. Data storytelling, the data are like supporting your story. So is a narrative first, data storytelling. First narrative and then the data. Storytelling with data, now you got it, is data first. It's data-driven storytelling. So you have important data, important numbers and facts that makes your presentation they are the content of your presentation, and then you use storytelling techniques, some storytelling techniques to bring this data to life. Okay, let's do some example. Data storytelling is when your narrative is driving the speech, driving the communication. The most common data storytelling is status reporting. You know, I'm a project manager. I love very much referring to the professional and project and program management world. But I will do also some example in keynotes and presentation. But yeah, data storytelling. When you are in a project, when you are in something that you needed to deliver, and then you are in face of your stakeholders, the client, Most of the time you have numbers that tells where you are with your project. Oh, we are like 30% on our project, we are 50% completed on our project, or you have another parameters, metrics, key metrics that define where you are with your project, or key metrics, key performance metrics, or objective OKR, objective key data, whatever is you're using the metrics. Project manager is affiliated with metrics. These metrics are the data, but they are not the most important part of your narrative. The most important part is the narrative, is where you are with the project, what's going on, the story. So if you want to say, oh, our developers are currently 30% on developing this piece of application, just making sure that 30% is the number that you want to bring to life, but then you tell how your developers are proceeding with the code, are proceeding with the testing, and if there is any, there is always any problems, just raise the point. Oh yeah, but we found that this API is too old, this API is not working, this API have no license. Whatever is the problem, there are always problems. But as a project manager, we are here to resolve the problems. Anyhow, so yeah, data storytelling is always used also in keynotes and presentation. You go on the stage and you grab the attention of your audience with a shocking statistic. I do remember Jamie Oliver in his TED Talk, I would like to say famous TED Talk for Jamie Oliver, delivered in California at the TED, and he opened his TED Talk, say, in the next 12 minutes that I'm going to deliver my speech, 4 Americans that were alive will be dead because the food that they have eaten. And it was a shocking statistic. It was a number. It was a number relatable, and then we will go on how to treat this number. But it brings a number, and then it creates a narrative around the numbers. If you have never seen this video, this TED Talk, please go there and watch at least the 3 minutes to understand how hook the audience, how use statistics as a number as a support of your narrative. So numbers are the servant of the narrative. Narrative first. A 90%, last time during my life, I used the 90% of a job of a project manager is about communication. Yeah. 90% of a job of project manager is about communication. 76% of the project fail because communication inside the project or within the project stakeholders, teams, seniors, clients, is not set up properly. Use the percentage to grab the attention, to support your narrative, but then tell the narrative. Tell the narrative is that because the narrative, the communication are not proper set up, because every people thinks that just talking is enough, having a meeting, talking is enough. It's not like this. Communication is critical, and how you communicate information, blah blah blah, is critical. You go on. Got it? Data storytelling. Now, sorry if from time to time I'll look on this side because chat is there. Anyhow, storytelling with data, or storytelling with data is data are the driven. So you have a lot of data. Your content, it's every data load or is mainly about data. Okay, so you needed to present. Well, we out from the COVID, and we were every time presenting the number of the people that have the COVID, the disease, the recovery, all this, all the information were around huge amount of numbers. So storytelling with data, it's a very complex. First of all, I would like to say that while data storytelling, you can find 2 or 3 key data. I'm sorry, I didn't I forget to say, always don't pull too many data in your data storytelling. Just 3 numbers are okay. Find the most important 3 numbers in your message. Remember, 1 communication, 1 message, 3 data. Okay, data storytelling. Storytelling with data. Back. Storytelling with data. You manage a huge number of data, and you need to make sure that the audience grasp the flavor and what is behind the huge amount of data. It's not easy. Storytelling with data is a very specific kind of communication, and it's not easy to manage. You need to really have a deep understanding of your data. You really need to spend a lot of time on looking your data and understanding how you can make your data more more understandable for your audience. And this is very important. Let me go back. This is very important that you work and you make your data understandable and digested by the audience, even though your audience is it's in your specific industry. So if you are like in industry that is always heavy on data, and talking about numbers, and probably the people, your audience is listening and understanding all your flavor. If you want you to make sure that your storytelling with data leave a footprint, leave a memorable information in your audience, always spend time to think about how you can make a story with the data that you have. Okay, I would like to mention that one of the most used example today for storytelling with data is coming from a group of TED Talk delivered by Jan Rosling. So maybe Hans Rosling, basically. Hans Rosling, he delivered. Hans Rosling is delivered. I think 5 now TED Talk about the how the population and the wealth into the world population grow during the time and affected the different type of population, and how we can make some prediction forecast looking this amount of data that we collect. Okay, and it's a very first speech, TED Talk, where he put together huge amount of data, and with the help of the BBC teams, actually was like 15 years ago, was in 2010, he created a animated and dynamic graph that was moving. I would like to show you, and today what can go wrong, I'm going to show you different things on the screen. So it may be possible that something will fail, and will be interesting to see how things will go. Now, okay, let's do this. Let's minimize this and move to the sharing screen where there is my notepad. But as I say, I have a new bank. So I pull a browser, And the browser I prepared with this presentation from Hans Rosling, 200 countries, 200 years, 4 minutes, the joy of statistics. So this video was absolutely amazing. So I don't know now if it's going to, if you can hear what's going on, but let me make a try, okay? And I don't show all the video, it's 4 minutes. I will show a few minutes, but it's good. Oh, it's what's happening? It's over. It's it's actually interesting. Screen capture. Ah, yeah, that's my fault. Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. Now let's have a try.
Global health. And I know having the data is not enough. I have to show it in ways people both enjoy and understand. Now, I'm going to try something I've never done before. Animating the data in real space.
Okay, jump into
From 25 years to 75 years. And down here, an axis for wealth, income per person, $400, $4,000, and $40,000. So down here is poor and sick, and up here is rich and healthy. Now, I'm going to show you the world 200 years ago, in 1810. Here come all the countries. Europe brown, Asia red, Middle East green, Africa south of Sahara blue, and the Americas yellow. And the size of the country bubbles show the size of the population. And in 1810, it was pretty crowded down there, wasn't it? All countries were sick and poor. Life expectancy were below 40.
Now, I stop here because I don't want to stream the full video that is on, in the end is only 5 minutes, but I would like just to point the fact that the data storytelling, so what Hans Rosling did, for the time, 15 years ago, he did with the BBC that was overlaying him talking with the graph moving, so it was very rich storytelling. But the storytelling was all around data, was all around this 200 years of data, 200 countries, and he was defining the visualization of the data. He was telling us that there is a lifespan in y-axis, then there was like the time in x-axis, and then he started showing and explaining the bubble. The dimension of the bubble was the dimension of the population in every country. And then if you look the video, then everything was like moving up in a real time, and he was talking, he was showing what's going to happen. And in the end, it was very nice that he say, oh yeah, this is happening, very neat. So I would like to show the end.
Well, what you just seen in the last few minutes is a story of 200 countries shown over 200 years and beyond. It involved plotting of 120,000 numbers. Pretty neat, huh?
So 120,000 million of data. So again, he just dropped a huge number. The presentation was amazing. And this is like storytelling with data. I have other example of storytelling with data, but I would like to stop here because we can dig in many examples. But the point is that when you want to bring a story out of all your data, you need to work with your data, and you need to really think, okay, what is the message that I want to, what is the message that I want to deliver? What is the one message that my data will bring? His message was like about the forecast and the future of the humanity, and it was like debunking some beliefs, okay? And it was very clear in his message, in the end of his message. So he bring the data to life, and then he supported with the data the message. I would like to suggest you This book, wow, that's amazing. This book is Knowledge is Beautiful. David McCandless, actually, he delivered also another couple of beautiful TED Talk. But this is beautiful because this is giving an idea on how you can visualize data in a different ways. So you sit with your data and then you think about how I can visualize the data to support my message. Okay, so this book is amazing because it's bringing knowledge and information with a lot of beautiful images, or huge amount of data, and then you can get some ideas for your next data load presentation, and you create a narrative around the data. But, and I would like to go with this, however, with this next with the next point to the next element of today live. If you and let me bring back if there is any comment. No comment right now. If you use the data, you need to make them easy digestible, easy manageable, easy that your audience can easily remember them. Okay, because you see that at the end, Hans Rosling drop a huge number, thousands of millions of data, and what people don't say, oh yeah, this is like 4,300 millions of data. It doesn't matter the exact number. He just drop a number just to say it's a huge number, because our brain don't grasp huge numbers. Think about that. If you start thinking, okay, how far is the moon from the Earth? How big is the Earth? How far is the sun? How far is it more far? The Earth is more far from, just thinking about big data, okay? Number, distances. Is the sun, the Earth from the sun? Is the sun more far from the Earth than the Earth is far from Jupiter, for example? Well, we know that they are in the space, billions of kilometers, whatever, but how far they are? Well, we know that they are big, so far. So the point is that big data, our brain, they don't grasp big data. I would like just to say that our brain grasp numbers that get to 10. Well, 10 is 5 is still, because we have 5 fingers, and our brain, well, it's 5, it's 10, 20. It's already, if it's 20, it means that there is another person with 2 hands like this. But if I tell you, okay, can you imagine the difference of a room filled with 50 people and 100 people? That is doubling. Well, yeah, maybe you can have an idea if you are a keynote speaker. Maybe you have been in different situation and you have like something that your mind can relate to. But if you are never been in these situations, 50 people and 100 people, you really don't grasp the differences. And 1,000 people, big numbers in general are very complex to grasp, and then are very complex to retain. So your audience won't retain your number. So how I can make sure that when I use the numbers, these numbers are easy to stick in the mind of my audience. Okay, let's go back to my preferred example, project management. A sip of water. Project management and status reporting. Now, when you do the status reporting, You don't just throw, oh, we are 30% on time. We are on time, 30% completed. What we do most of the time, we use red, amber, green just to signalize that if you are good or not. Red, attention. Amber, well, we manage, but well, something should be some attention, something needs some attention. Green, all good. Or we use like indicator with a nice bar, like a progress bar, and an indicator that shows where we are. We are 30%, we are 80%, we are good because we are exactly in the plan. We make visually relatable, okay? So you can quickly grasp that this 30% is good or this 30% is bad. If I say, oh, we are 30% into the developing of the testing of the code, and I don't say anything else, it's good or it's bad? So first of all, I needed to relate, and I related to the plan. So 30% exactly on plan. The plan was supposed to be 32%. We are 30%. We are 2% behind. We are still good. We say we are still good. Okay, it's a relatable. Okay. Project management. So we use indicator, we use meters, we use gauge, dashboard, colorful, most of the time red, amber, green, because in the end the people want to see very quickly where are the problems or if there is anything that needs to be pay attention. Project manager and reporting is like this. But if you are not in the world of a project manager, it's exactly the same thing. You needed to make your number relatable. And maybe you remember I mentioned the TED talk from Jamie Oliver at the beginning. And Jamie Oliver says, it doesn't say it's a shocking percentage. It doesn't say like 25% of Americans every 20 minutes, 25% of America have a disease because the food that they eat. Something like that. No, they say in the next 80 minutes, that is the duration of the TED Talk. Very relatable. In the next 80 minutes, that I'm going to deliver the TED Talk. 4 Americans that were alive will be dead because the food that they ate. So it dropped a relatable number. 4 people were alive. No, now there are 4 people in this moment. And in 80 minutes, they are dead. It's not 25%. Sorry, I mess up with the percentage. But the point is, he make it relatable. He make it very visual. 4 people will be dead. And I remember another keynote. It was a very good keynote about numbers. There were like 3 or 4 key numbers delivered that was about breast cancer, and that was about a device that could be implanted in a bra to early breast cancer sign detection. But the point is that the keynote speaker, she went on the stage with a big audience, like 200 people, 300 people, a very crowded theater. And she said, in that moment, with all of this audience, 1 person of 4 will have the chance to develop breast cancer. And it was like shocking, because you look around, this is the audience, and 1 of 4 in that audience can develop potentially breast cancer. It was like so relatable. So if you use the number, data storytelling especially, make them relatable to something, make them easy to digest, and always try to reduce them to 5 or 10. We are human. We have 2 hands. We have 10 fingers, and we understand. As a as a chimp coming back down from the trees a couple of millions of years ago, 10. we don't use anymore. Maybe the chimpo can get to 20 because they are still using all the fingers, but we forget our toes, our feet, and then we are now to 10. Okay, so yeah, make this number relatable. So how you can make numbers relatable? I would like just to give you, this is again an example that brings big data in the play, but it brings the big data in a way that can be relatable. So again, it's not really data storytelling. It's much more like storytelling with data, but it's relatable. And I think that you have seen it several times, many times, in many different ways. But I love it bringing back. And this is the video or the carousel. Someone is if 100 people lived on Earth, and it's amazing because it's again, there are 8 billions of people in the Earth, and then if you start thinking, okay, tot millions are located in this area, tot millions have this, tot millions, the word millions or billions, our brain, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Wait, I got to 5 billions. I don't understand. Well, still 100 is a big, but the visual are helping. Have a look. Have a look. Oh, there is no music. There is a music, but was boring. Yeah. This is very visual. I think that there is another one with a narrative. Yeah, easy, visual, relatable. How many are with the fate and the languages? 100 people, 12 speak Chinese, but like the rest speak 6,500 languages. And these are some other shocking. 86 can read and write, and 14 cannot. So if you have 100 people, 14 cannot read and write. Okay, I don't go through all this. I think that you have seen it into the past, but the idea is, I think that you grasp the things that make it relatable. And to make it relatable, I would like to introduce another book. Is this one, Data Story, from my preferred data storyteller and visual storyteller, that is Nancy Duarte. So this book, if you normally are in industry that work with a huge amount of data and do a lot of presentation, Knowledge is Beautiful is important. This one, I'm not selling the books. Knowledge Beautiful is good, is giving, let's say, some ideas on how to make your data beautiful. But Data Story, it's your book. And Data Stories contains all the and more in-depth information that I was digging right now into that. And I would like just to show you one picture. This picture, relatable. So how small is a microprocessor? Yeah? How small is a microprocessor? Yeah, this is as small as like a microprocessor. I think that today is smaller. Yeah? Make always things relatable. And this book really helping you to frame the data, make them relatable, make sure that if you prepare a presentation, your presentation is it's bringing the data to your audience in the way that they can grasp the relationship. Like here there is the capacity of 1025. You cannot see, but this is a slide. So if you want to talk about 1000 more people, is the capacity of the Oracle Arena. Actually, here in you don't have the Oracle Arena here in UK, but if you want to do relatable things and make people understand how big is a number, like Twickenham Stadium is just close to my house. It's like 86,000 people, containing 86,000 people. So if you want to make a number, say 86 say a Twickenham Stadium, like Twickenham Stadium. If you want to make a number relatable to understand how many are, like 500 people make, or 300 people, say, or all the people that when you sit for onboarding in Airbus 320, in general you have like 120 people boarding, and you're waiting 120 people. So what the people that are in your flight is 120 people, and then you say that this is 120 people. It's a make it relatable. It's an Airbus 320 that maybe most of us have experienced boarding in an Airbus 320, or maybe not, but find them relatable. How high is something that is tall? Use the American State Building, use the Tour Eiffel, use something that is relatable, so people can visualize. I can visualize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can visualize like a building. I can visualize a football field, for example, something like that. This book brings beautifully ideas on how to make data visible. And this helped me to bring to the last point. Also help to brings the information on how to visualize data. So actually here there is this beautiful graph. Yeah. So the book says that this graph is showing 3 elements. So basically there are red bars that are a projection, and they're here. Then there are some bars here, blue here in the middle, and then there is a big blue bar over there. And the book suggests to create a slide deck that before shows the red one here, then disclosure this blue bar here, and then another slide that show just the bar going up here. Sorry, it's a little bit challenging doing these things, but it's a good experiment. The grasp is, again, this is in the middle of data storytelling and storytelling with data. It's a little bit of storytelling with data, but sometimes we need to bring our data to live, even though we don't have a huge amount of data. Use dynamic, use PowerPoint, use other tools like Canva. You work with your data, make sure that they are dynamic. You can animate it then, and then you can animate it then also using a different slide. So you can create one simple slide with a graph, then one other slide with some bars that are like highlighting, becoming red, because you want to make people to focus on that piece of data, and then like zooming differently. And then you can use this, just adding the slide one after the other. You don't have to be a wizard of animation, even though today is pretty simple. You can ask also to there are AI tools. I don't dig into the whole AI tools, but now AI tools are really helping on this one. Just making sure that they are doing what exactly you want they are doing, not just make a cosmetic animation. But yeah, AI tools also are very helping, let's say, to animate your data. So to make a presentation that brings data to life, whatever is a data storytelling, so your data help the narrative, or storytelling with data, so your data are the story, your data is the story. Make sure that you stop and think, what is the message that you want to bring, and how the data will help you to bring the message. How I can make this data relatable to my audience, how I can make my audience remembering this data If you watch the TED talk from Hans Rosling, you remember the graph moving and blah blah blah, all the things, but you don't remember the single things. You don't remember the single elements. You remember that it was cool with all these countries, colored, full, moving. If you listen the TED talk from Jamie Oliver, you remember ideally the shocking statistic at the beginning. He threw other statistic, but you maybe remember the shocking statistic at the beginning. And I'm really good to remember numbers. I'm not really good to remember numbers, but still remember them. I didn't refresh them before this video because they were relatable. They were easy to connect. Think about all the keynotes, all the presentation we have watched, you have attended, and left you remembering one single number or a group of numbers. And think about how they make it. Well, then this is the way that you will need to reflect on how to use and reuse this approach to make this data sticking in your audience. And there is nothing better to do this with the narrative. It's always about storytelling. Whatever the data are part of your story or are your story, storytelling, telling the story, using storytelling technique. It doesn't mean that it's a story, I'd say a lot of time. It's not the story of the data. It's about the way that you connect the data together to create your story and support your narrative. Say that today I ran a little bit over the 30 minutes promise. I promise to stick to 30 minutes, but I hope that this was interesting for you. I'm preparing a data storytelling and storytelling with data webinar. Will be soon. I will launch it soon. But if you have any question, if you have any graph that you want to make it better or integrate in your presentation, just drop me a message and I will be very happy to help you. Say that. Thank you very much for attending this Spontaneous Stories live. Follow me if you have seen me for the first time. Follow me to get the information that the new live is going to happen, or to rewatch the recording. Also connect and subscribe in YouTube, where it's more easy to reconnect and access to my videos and recording. I wish you a very good rest of the day, and because it's Thursday, and a very good weekend when you get to it. Happy storytelling. Ciao.